No matter what you think of the dinosaurs, no matter which one is your favorite, no one can deny the claim to fame that the Tyrannosaurus Rex has. Everything from being a movie legend, museum superstar, bearer of toys, it is the king of the dinosaurs. And more research into its biology is turning up new answers and creating new theories to this day. But what if science could make the base animal even scarier? What if we can create an even scarier T-Rex? Today, I'm taking real paleontology and nature's wildest tricks to turn the Rex into a nightmare you'll pray never existed. Even our Indominus Rex 2.0 and Paradragon might run from this one. Sorry for this long overdue episode, viewer. Let's just say that unforeseen circumstances knocked us off our game for the past few months. If you want to know more, please check out our update video linked in the description and pinned in the comment below. For the rest of us, let's continue on with the episode. If we taught you anything, is that nature cannot be beat when it comes to making formidable creatures with millions of years of evolution. So, you might ask, how can we make the T-Rex even scarier than it is already? Well, in order to do that, we first have to go over its key adaptations and body morphology. As they say, know thy enemy. And if we want our new Rex to be even stronger than its ancestor, we need to know why its ancient predator was so successful to begin with. Secondly, we'll select which traits could use the upgrade, if you will, and give them their needed areas of improvement. Then, as we draw out our Neo-Rex, we'll choose and go over modern and prehistoric animals that'll make our tyrant reptile ruler even more formidable, all while drawing it out in all its beast's glory. We're not making drastic changes here. You can think of these as improvements to what already works for the Tyrant King of the Saurians. Just so we're clear, it basically what's the title after all. Team, make sure your enclosures are up to snuff. We don't want to know. On to the video, okay? As for the elements we'll be looking at, they'll go as follows. First, the bite. Second, the eyesight. 3, hunting behavior. 4, adaptability. And 5, intelligence. Now, we know these don't seem to be the most related to each other at first glance, but trust us, they'll make sense at the end of the video. Now then, shall we get on with the rest of the show? Number 1, the bite. This trait doesn't seem to be in need of any improvements at first, and we understand why a bunch of you would question this choice. And we can see why. One of the strongest bites in the animal kingdom and in prehistory, T-Rex had a pair of jaws that is nearly unmatched in the animal kingdom. One crunch from those chompers, and we're talking about a bite force that can not only crush bone and slice through skin, but can tear a car apart with no problem at all. If this creature was around today, or a possible descendant with an equal bite, we'd pop like a gory water balloon. Measurements on its bite force range from 35,000 to 57,000 newtons, or 8,000 to 13,000 psi. Combined with its conical serrated teeth that allowed such force to be spread across the bite, and we're talking about a chomp that puts all others to shame. So, you're probably saying, how do you intend to improve on such a bite? It's practically perfect as is. Normally, we'd agree, but we found there are ways we can make this attack deadlier and while staying grounded in biology. Enter the northern short-tailed shrew. Now, we're aware. Some of you may recognize the little guy from Goji Center's Indom 2.0 videos, and we're piggybacking off that idea somewhat, but the benefits of this deceptive fuzzball with jaws are too great to ignore. The northern short-tailed shrew naturally has iron deposits in its teeth at the tips, which makes its teeth sharper and bite and chewing crunch harder. But there's more. This mammal's saliva is venomous, making it lethal to anything it bites. But there's more. The bite of the shrew is also aided with fast twitching muscle fibers which help it to chomp and lacerate its prey with deft, swift bites. If you thought that's terrifying enough, then we got another thing coming. We'll also be adding Therosophalian-like fangs to our creation. Why? Well, let's explain. The fangs of this mammal are canine-like and quite visible, large enough to be called saber teeth by a few. Furthermore, having fangs helps to pressure caused by bites into a single point, increasing bite stress to rip into prey or worse. This depends on the jaw and muscles, the anatomy of the facial area, and how the skull mechanics work. But given that the bite of the Rex is distributed throughout its jaws, envision what would happen if that bite were to be concentrated and had iron reinforcement. And just so we could, we'll be adding vampire bat DNA into the mix. The saliva of these little guys are anticoagulants, meaning it would compromise the victim's ability to stop the bleeding. But hang on, that's not even the worst of it. Besides these little bloodsuckers can contribute and gather more iron to more areas in their bodies. This means that, paired with the shrew and the Theracephalian fangs, this creature of ours can now heighten its iron-enriched reinforced bite, making it stronger than ever. With all that said, let's head to the desk. Team, reinforce those fences. Please, our client doesn't want...
And let's not forget the vampire bat DNA, so... we're gonna make these fangs here very slightly pointed forward. Yeah, that's cool. And terrifying. Just what we want for a T-Rex. Just gonna do some detail with the chin here. Do some bit with the neck just to show where the muscles are. Again, we're not doing anything too drastic. This is just very rough stages. And this is the point that I mentioned in my sketchbook video about drawing light, is that doing it this way, you can make changes on the fly. See, like this little chin part here, that wasn't planned. I just came up with that on the spot. So, just thought I'd let you know about that. And you, on to the next section.
Number 2. Eyesight. Contrary to what a certain dinosaur franchise has espoused about this trait, the truth is T-Rex had some of the sharpest eyesight of any predator to have ever lived. With vision on par with that of a bald eagle, there's no question it cannot just see you fine while you're standing still as a statue, but also just as well or better while you're running. Here's the cool part for some, frightening for others. Studies have noticed that the eyes of a T-Rex are perfect for binocular vision, aiding it in hunting their prey, and that it resembles what owls had. Same examinations noted it probably could see fairly well in low-light conditions, but as with everything, they're not necessarily night vision. So how do we fix this? The answer is simple. The barn owl. Yes, these night flyers are among the best nocturnal predators of our times, and it's thanks to their ability to see in areas of complete darkness. Like many owls, it has tapetum lucidum, a special layer in the rear of the eyes that reflects light back through its retinas, enabling much better capture of photons and thus enhancing its vision. Now we have a T-Rex that can walk under the cover of darkness. Thanks to the fact we know these terrible saurians had padded feet for stealth, this will make it a true horror that'll give even the bravest herbivores nightmares. Jeez, team, are you sure this isn't overkill?
Add something else here. We're going to do this, and we're going to add a beak, like this. Now it's not going to be a long beak, but we do want it to be pretty substantial. So like this. And on the lower jaw here, we're going to do something similar here. It's looking a little goofy right now, but later on you'll see how well this will turn out.